creamy risotto is on the menu today. If I got any Hell's Kitchen fans out there, let's go. This is the one that Ramsay makes them make. We're gonna make it too. If you're new to my page, thank you for watching. Please hit that like, subscribe, share button, and leave a comment. And if you're coming back, welcome back. Thank you for watching again. So you know what? Let's jump right into the ingredients. Alright, these are the ingredients you will need to make the creamiest, best tasting risotto ever. And it's easy. Don't get deterred by these ingredients. Risotto is easier than you think. You need some olive oil, some white wine, chicken broth, shredded Parmesan cheese. You need salt and pepper. You need a short grain rice, an onion, and a clove of garlic. And that's it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's get to it. Alright, now the first thing you want to do when you get started with this risotto is you want to boil your chicken stock. And when your chicken stock comes to a boil, put it down on the lowest setting on your stove as you can. So put it down on low. You don't want it to keep boiling, but you want to keep it really, really warm. So this recipe calls for a small onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use half of a pretty large one I have here. Now this risotto, normally with recipes I say it's okay, you know, if we leave big pieces of onion, but with risotto, not so. Don't leave big pieces of onion in it, not unless that's what you like and you're making an onion risotto. If you're making any other kind of risotto, then get your onion as small as you can so that when you put it in the pan, it cooks very quickly. So the most time consuming thing about risotto is getting that rice cooked with that chicken stock and that wine in it. So this, getting the onions ready and the rest of it ready, no big deal. Nothing. There's nothing to it. So if you've watched it on any of the cooking shows with any of them, especially Chef Ramsay. So if you've watched any of them make a risotto, then you pretty much know what a risotto should look like. It should be a nice creamy rice. So you don't want any pieces of anything in it, not unless you choose to do a seafood and then you have big pieces of shrimp or scallops or whatever in it. But normally with that, people even put that on the top. So they don't normally mix it in with the risotto. But it's quite up to you. You know, you're your own cook, you're your own chef. So you do it the way you want to do it. And if you want to put pieces of something in your risotto, by all means you can. But right now I'm going to tell you the proper way to make it. So, you know, we do our own thing a lot of times, which is good, because you should. You should get outside the box sometimes, do something different. But here I'm going to show you. So if you've watched it, yes, any of those cooking shows, and you ever want to know how to make a risotto, you want to see how to make it, well, here we go today. Alright, so that's about as much as I'm going to cook my onions. That's as much as I'm going to cut my onions down. So the rest of the way, they're going to have to cook. So you don't need minced onions for this, though. You just need them chopped, but you need them chopped really small. So if you see the texture right there, they're chopped pretty small. Alright, so let's get the onions into the pan. Let's mark this board. Alright, so by now the garlic would be cooking in with it, but what you're going to see me do is put some garlic powder in here and then put some more in here later. Okay, we're good to go. Now, risotto. Risotto is light colored. If you've ever seen it, it's getting a white cheese in it, which is a Parmesan, which is a yellow looking cheese, but it's a light dish. Don't brown your onions. So keep your onions on medium or low. Don't brown your onions. So the ones around the edges that like to get brown quickly, we all know they do. Keep them towards the middle if you can, but you do want to keep these in a single layer so they can cook down some for you. But this is one of those times when those brown onions are not okay, so don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to put some garlic powder on top of these onions. Since I was about to use fresh garlic, I'm going to be really generous with that on top of those onions. So, all right, we're going to get this stirred around. We're going to get this to go. And you just need about a tablespoon of olive oil. So you want to not have it so oily, so greasy. You don't want it real greasy. So in other words, you don't need to cook the rice. You know, we used to cook that rice and rice-a-roni before we put the juice in it. Well, you don't need to cook the rice like that. What you want to do is you just want to get your rice incorporated with these onions, and you just want to get it stirred around a little bit. All right, a little heavy with the garlic powder if you're using garlic powder, but if you're using fresh garlic, then by all means, mince it or smash it. Okay, now I see some of my onions want to turn dark. That's not okay. I don't want to. I don't want any dark colored onions in the dish. Nothing dark in it. Must be beautiful. So even though we're using ground black pepper, we're just going to use a bit of ground black pepper. So at this point, I am going to put a tad bit more olive oil in here. That's going to be it for the olive oil. All right, so that can go away. All right, what goes in here next? The rice. The rice is going in. Hey, don't leave it too long though. Stir up those onions, because remember what I said. You don't want nothing dark in the risotto. You don't want anything unsightly when you're about to eat it. When you're looking at it on the plate, if you see specks of coarse black pepper, use coarse black pepper. And then you see specks of coarse black pepper in there, that's fine. But you generally don't want to see anything brown. You know, if you're looking at something and it's pepper, that's fine. You don't want anything in your dish that was garlic or onion that burned. And if you burn that garlic, then you have to start all over with the garlic onion part, because burned garlic cannot go in your dish. It will not taste good. So it will ruin it for sure. And I really mean that. So don't take any chances with don't take any chances. So, all right. So this is a short grain rice. Don't forget that I did explain it early on. You do need to find a short grain rice, so you don't necessarily have to find that arborio rice or that particular rice that we normally use for risotto. Just find a short grain rice. So long as it says short grain, you're good. Now, here's where we're going to start with the chicken stock and the wine. And what happens after this is this does not get salt and pepper and cheese until the very end of it. That's what you want. You want your rice to cook up like this. This is what the chicken stock is going to do. So, see, I'm taking that out. Anything that may have turned brown, if it floats up, take it off. You don't want that. And sometimes that onion will get you at the bottom like that. It'll start turning browner than the rest of the onions if you don't stir it fast enough. So, just make sure you do. Okay. So as I said, this is an off-white dish. It's just a light colored dish is what I'm calling it. It's not going to be perfectly white, but it's a really light colored dish. So you want to keep it beautiful. So when you serve it and garnish it, it not only tastes good, you want it to look good too. You know, we eat with our eyes first, as we always say. We eat with our eyes, which we do. So make sure your dish is beautiful, because you know it's going to taste good because you made it, right? All right. Alright, so this is the most time-consuming part of risotto. So if it's your first time making it, I remember my first time making it. I was a little nervous. Don't be nervous. It's your first time making it. You got this. You can do it. I did it. You can do it. This stock and that wine, all that's going to do is cooking your rice. And that's what you want. So now what we're looking for here is when this cooks down, when all of this juice is out, that's when we'll add more. So you cook this until your liquid in here is absorbed by the rice. So watch this rice. And at this point, you can still see, if you look closely, I'm not sure you can see it, but I can. You can still see little bits of onion. But by the end of this, believe me, you're going to see a nice creamy rice. So once you add the cheese, the salt, and the pepper, yes, you'll see. You won't even see those onions, but surely the flavor will be there, and that's what we want, the flavor to be there. All right. And if you're watching this video and you never attempted risotto because you thought it was too hard, try it. Follow my instructions, cook along with me, play the video, but try risotto. It's very good. And it's served in more restaurants than you think, so learn how to make it. You might want to do dinner for two at home. You might want to impress somebody and make dinner for them. You never know. You know, food is all the rage now. We're foodies. That's what we are. And the thing with that is you want to learn how to make it yourself. You know, all the time I want to go out to restaurants. And right now with this COVID-19, there are no restaurants to go to. Well, this coronavirus is out here. So while it's out here, hey, learn how to cook some things you didn't think you'd learn how to cook. Try it and you'll be surprised at what you can do. So now, I want you to look at this. All right? So the liquid is absorbed, but you can tell when you're stirring this that your rice is still hard. So here we go. I'm gonna ladle another ladle of liquid in here. I'm gonna let it go again. Now what I do when I'm cooking risotto, maybe the difference between me and other cooks and other chefs is I adjust my heat. So when I first get that liquid, even though that liquid is steaming and it's warm, I turn my fire back up again to get it going in the pan. The pan is hot, the rice is hot. Yes, it is. My rice keep jumping ship. That's like the third one. All right, rice. Now, that's enough. We're trying to eat. We're not trying to have rice on the floor. Enough of that. Shit. Okay, now. All right, so go. We want to get this going again. I want to do the same thing we just did. So we're going to cook this until the liquid is gone again. And so based on when you're stirring it right here, if you stir it back and forth like that, you can feel that the rice is hard. So you already know. It's a no-no. Your rice is not ready. So you're going to have to do this maybe 3 or 4 times. Perhaps even 5, but I think 3 or 4 times before this rice is ready. That's why you use short grain rice. Because if you use long grain rice, it takes longer to get ready. And you don't want that. So now here is a gourmet meal at home, risotto. As you know, this is on the menu of some really high-end restaurants. Different risotto, lobster risotto, seafood risotto, mushroom risotto if you don't eat meat. So there's risotto. There's a risotto for everybody. And it is delicious. So even if you put this with a baked chicken breast, or you put it with a steak, you know, you can do that. Filet mignon. So that risotto gives you a little leeway. You can play with it. You can put different meats with it. So it depends on the type of risotto you make. And that's why you think about it. It's a cheesy, creamy rice dish. It's really good. So you know that Parmesan cheese goes in it. So you put as much cheese as you want to put in it. So I know the recipe tells you a certain amount, but you go off, when you taste it, you go off the way you like to eat. So if you like more cheese or less, that's what you do. So that's the thing. This is a versatile dish. I love it. It's good. And if you've never eaten it before, then try it. Make it and try it. You know, my favorite risotto is seafood risotto. I like that, so. But today, I'm going to show you how to make a basic risotto. And the reason why is because after you learn how to make a basic risotto, you can make all different kinds after that. You can go for it. You can go for the gusto with that, baby. Once you got it, you got it. So once you know, it's this liquid. What you want to do, let it go. Let your liquid boil down again. So you want to keep it boiling now. You don't want to stop it. So you don't want to turn it down so low that it's no longer doing this. You want it to go. You want it bubbly and hot. Because that's what's cooking your rice. And so every time, don't do what I just did and forget. So every time you put chicken stock in, you put white wine in. Now, if you're a teetotaler and you don't drink, leave that wine out and use chicken stock. So for the same amount of wine that the recipe calls for, don't use that wine, use the chicken stock. All right. All right. Let's let it go. Let's let it bubble up. It smells so good. You can smell the white wine. You can smell the chicken stock. You can just smell right now. This is really, really smelling delicious. Hey, so if you're trying to impress that man, let me let you know. You think you slaved all day and made this risotto, but honey, no. It's easy. And it's good. So that's right, you will be serving. You'll be serving a high-end dish, baby. You learn how to make it like the grand chefs out here. I got you. Told you. Keep coming back. I got more recipes than this. I'm about to show the world how easy it is to cook. Cook really, really good, delicious food. And some dishes you never thought you would try. Give me a chance. I'll show you. Cooking is wonderful, and it's not that difficult. And once you learn how to make something, you can always do variations of that dish. So once you learn how to make something good like this risotto, oh, you can always do variations, baby. And you got it. So don't forget. Taste, taste, taste. You don't feel your rice doesn't feel hard anymore, even though I know. I can see it. It's still a little white right there. It's still a little al dente. I'll still taste it anyway, though. All right, so it's about halfway there. That flavor is good. So after it's got salt and pepper in it, it's on. Yeah, about halfway there. You keep cooking. I'm going to go through the whole process. I'm going to go through the entire process with you. So I want you to see. So I don't want to skip frames. I don't want to cut any footage out. I want you to see exactly how you make risotto and what happens with this risotto every single step of the way. I cut video when I think something is common sense, but I don't think risotto falls in that category. So, all right. So trust me, when I'm done with you, you'll be ready to compete on one of those cooking shows. Believe me, you'll be ready. Ramsey won't be calling you no damn donkey, will he? You'll have it. You will have it. You will not be a donkey. All right, here we go again. Ladle number 3 of chicken stock and a splash of white wine. Trust me, a little bit goes a long way. Don't worry about putting a whole bunch of white wine. Don't do that. As much as I like to imbibe and drink. Alrighty. Alright, we're going to bring this to a boil again. We're going to do the same thing again. Let's bring it to a boil. Do not salt this dish while it's cooking. Do not salt it. I mean that. Salt goes in at the end. You will prolong your cooking process if you do that. Don't salt risotto while you're cooking it. You'll be kicked off Hell's Kitchen. Messing around with me, you'll win Hell's Kitchen. Stick with me. Come along with me for a ride. I'll get you ready. I'll get you right. Bring this back. Bring this back to a nice bubbly boil. Bring it on back. Keep it on like a medium heat. Don't let it scare you. You got this. It smells delicious. So keep watching. Don't take your eyes off the pan. Just keep watching. Stir your rice all the way around. Just keep it stirred really well because you want to get your wine incorporated, well incorporated. All right. You want to wind up with a creamy, that's what you're looking for though. You want to wind up with a creamy rice mixture at the end. This is beautiful, and as I said before, you can even make a basic risotto and then use a seafood stock and then just put your seafood on the top in the middle. Almost like a garnish, but it's part of the dish. So, you don't even have to do anything extra fancy or add anything other than the onions, the garlic, and the rice. Then the chicken stock and the white wine. That's it. That's your basic risotto. You got it after that. So you keep watching your dish because you want to catch it. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to overcook your risotto till it's mush. You know. All right, that's why tasting is going to be key. Tasting is going to be key because you need to make sure your rice isn't overcooked. You need to know where it is along the way. Is it ready? Is it almost ready? So make sure when you're cooking for other people too, you have a number of tasting spoons, because that's what I do. I'm cooking for a crowd, I make sure I have a number of tasting spoons on hand. So don't use the same spoon. All right, we're getting there. The rice still. We're getting there though. I love rice. Are you a rice lover out there? Leave a comment. I am a rice lover. You'll see more rice dishes than this. It's coming. One rice dish you won't see from me though is rice pudding. Whatever, I don't like it. I don't like that raisin, the raisins. I don't like anything about it. It's sweet rice and I just don't like it. Yep. But I don't knock other people to eat. If you like it, you like it. Alrighty, alright. So it's cooking down again. Now, if anything with this, let it cook. So smooth it out, let it cook. If anything with this, it's probably gonna need one more ladle of that stock, but that's it. So that's probably about 3 cups of stock that it'll need. But I warmed up 4 cups, and that's what I suggest you do too. You warm up 4 cups of stock because you want to make sure, number 1, that your stock is hot, but number 2, that you have enough. All right. All right, keep cooking, keep cooking, keep cooking. As you can see now, that's what you're going to be looking for at the end. That beautiful creamy texture right there. All right. Yes, I got like I got 2 more left. I keep tasting spoons. More than one. All right. A little hard, but we're almost there. Told you, probably one more ladle. And this is going to be ready. So this is the beginning. Might I mention to you, if you ever make rice balls, arancini, rice balls, this is the beginning of rice balls, a basic risotto. Alrighty. All right. Okay, this is good. This is so good. All right. What are we looking for? Well, look at that. Yes, exactly. Especially when you're plating. So, all right. I don't know if I'm gonna get a whole. I think I will. I think I'll put a whole ladle in here. All right. So it helps if you have a ladle doing that too. So I mean, you can do it with a spoon, but you just get more out with a ladle. So it just helps you have that instead of a regular spoon. I'm not gonna tell you, because if all you have is a regular spoon, and that's what you use. So you use what you have. You don't let that stop you from making something, because you can use a mug, and you can pour it into a mug or a measuring cup, and do this like a half a cup at a time. So don't let it stop you if you don't have a ladle on hand. All right, we're gonna let it bubble up again. So, all right. Now this should be it. But if not, I'll do it one more time. So I'll do it until the rice is at a it's perfectly cooked, in other words. So I'll do this until it's where I need for it to be. But you don't need for it to be al dente in the middle, not rice. You need for this rice to be done, but not mushy and overcooked. So I can't stress that enough. That's why I keep saying it. So taste your dish along the way, because the one thing you don't want to do is make this rice mushy. No. And short grain rice is very easy to do that with. All right. Straighten that out. I'm going to let that go for a little bit, but I'm going to let you keep watching to see what it does and what happens. So I'll let you see all the way until it's ready. So I'm not putting a lot of cheese in it. Right, the recipe calls for like a half a cup of cheese. And that is exactly what I have. I'm not going to put more than that today. I'm a cheese lover. But not with this, because this got a good flavor from the chicken stock and the wine. Oops. Luckily I said that. I forgot the wine. All right. Pour a little bit more of that wine in there. You'll know if you forgot it too, because you won't smell it. See? Yes. You smell it as soon as you put it in there. So make sure you stir it around. Get it in there while that rice is cooking. You want to make sure. All right. All right. This is good. This is what we want. Yes. You can hear it now. Somebody out there is probably wondering if you can use a pot. I have never used a pot to make risotto, but you probably can use it. So, like I'm saying, if you don't have a pan big enough, use what you have. So if you don't have a pan big enough and you have a pot, then use a pot. Just use a big pot with a nice flat bottom. Yep, and that should work. So don't use one of the saucepans with the handle like that. Use the pot with the two handles. So you got that flat surface at the bottom of it to use. So I don't see anything wrong with that if all you have is a pot. Like I said, don't let that stop you. Use what you have. You can still come out with some great food. It's called substituting. And once you become a cook, you're going to learn how to substitute very well. Sometimes you run out of things, some things you don't have. You'll learn to properly substitute. All right, so here we go again. Here's some smacking. I'm gonna give this a couple more minutes. But we will not use another ladle of chicken stock. That is it. So we will not have to use that for sure. So when this liquid cooks down a little bit. Yeah, because right now this is too soupy. So we don't want it this soupy. Nope, when it's this soupy, nope, we gotta let it cook down a little bit, just a little bit, and we got it. And guess what? You just made your first risotto, and it's gonna be good, trust me. You follow these directions and you cannot go wrong. And let me tell you something, if you go wrong, start all over again. You got enough ingredients, start all over again. So this recipe calls for 1 cup of rice, so save a cup. See, that's good. That's wonderful. That is delicious. The rice is ready. The only thing we're doing now is we are cooking this liquid out of it. So, and no, it will not overcook. If you ever taste it and you bite down on it and some of it sticks to your back teeth a little bit, that means you can stand to cook it for a couple more minutes. And at this point, that's what it does. It sticks to your back teeth right now. Doesn't mean it's not done, because it's done. But that means that we can stand to cook this liquid out. So we got a little time to work with. Because as I told you before, we do not want to overcook. Not risotto. We don't want to overcook rice anyway. I'm a rice lover and I'm not going to do it. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to happen. So okay, because we're putting cheese in it, salt and pepper, this is it. So once you can stir around in the middle, you can see that pan like that. That's good. That is perfecto. Look at that. See, if you was on Hell's Kitchen, baby, you got it. He couldn't say nothing to you. Can't say nothing. Now, here's where you want to be really careful. So salt and taste. Salt and taste. I'm going to put a little, I have really finely ground black pepper, so I'm going to put a little bit of ground pepper in it. I'm going to stir this up really well. I'm going to taste it, because we still have to put cheese in it. Now, watch that ground pepper. I use very finely ground black pepper. If you don't have that, just use regular black pepper, and that's fine. If you have white pepper, you use that too. Watch it with the white pepper, though. It seems to me it's a little hotter than black pepper, so be careful how much you put in. So do put in a pinch at a time. Now you want to get that salt stirred up in here really well. Look at that. That is the perfect consistency of risotto. You got it. That's perfect. You know what? I'm going to put a really tiny pinch, though, of salt, just for other people that's eating, and I want to make sure. So what I've got here is that's about a half a cup of cheese, so that's exactly what you need. You don't need to over cheese this. It's not necessary. If you want to put cheese on the top for garnish, you can do that. If you want to put green onions or parsley, you can do that too. So it's up to you. But if you're at this point with me, you have just made your first risotto, and it is delicious. I know it is. So now if you want more cheese, but now if you're serving this and it's dinner time, you're making dinner for 2, I don't care if you're making dinner for 6, get your risotto on the plate. You don't want to start letting it get cold. It's not going to be the right consistency if you do. I can tell you straight up, it's going to be the wrong consistency. All right. Appreciate y'all spending this time with me. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, share, and by all means, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.